The island of Sodor, a little patch of land that sits within the Irish Sea just off for its rugged scenery and idyllic lakesides, but more famously known for its railway, Western Railway. We've been called the world's largest heritage railway as our fleet consists primarily of steam engines and outdated diesels. Every year, thousands of people flock to the island to see us vintage down the line, hauling trainloads of passengers and freight, and work the docks, yards and quarries shunting trucks. Truly, one man can be credited with the success of our railway, Sir Topham Hatt, better known as the Fat Controller, whose steadfast leadership and dedication to railway preservation has kept our line running well into the 21st century. But it wasn't always like this. Indeed, there was a time before Sir Topham Hatt, before we were known as Sodor, like all British railways, was very, very different. At the turn of the last century, Britain's railway system was a chaotic mess. This was in the days before national railways sprouted up all over the country. Around this time, there were more than 120 different railways across Great Britain, sometimes 2 or 3 servicing the one region, and Sodor was no different. There was the Sodor and Mainland Railway, the Wellsworth and Sudbury Railway, and my group, the Elsbridge and Knapford Railway. As one might expect of 3 rival companies forced to share the one island, there was intense rivalry between us over the rights to the various freight and passenger services. Our animosity was reflected across all of Britain. By the early 1910s, because of the sheer diversity of companies and the intense rivalry between them, railways were fast becoming unprofitable. Such was the fate of the Sodor and Mainland Railway, which closed in 1914. That same year, World War I began, and the entire might of the British Empire was geared towards supporting this great and terrible conflict, including the railways, all of which were placed under government control. Throughout this bleak 4-year period, the trains ran with unprecedented efficiency, delivering troops and supplies where needed. Everyone observed the benefits of centralised control of the railways, and after the war, there was renewed interest in nationalising them. In 1922, Parliament passed the Railway Act. While not quite nationalisation, it did serve to condense the number of companies throughout England from 120 to 4. These were the London, Midland and Scottish Railway, the Great Western Railway, the Southern Railway, and the London and North Eastern Railway. As their name suggested, the Big Four controlled territory based on England's geography. Unfortunately, this proved to be somewhat problematic, as Sodor was awkwardly positioned between the lines of the LMS had a valid claim to the island and were unwilling to back down. With a special dispensation from the newly created Railway Board, both companies were allowed to operate on Sodor. The Wellsworth and Sudbury engines were taken over by the LMS, whose director for Sodor operations was the unscrupulous Nigel Zorro. We of the Elsbridge and Knapford Railway were absorbed into the LNER under the direction of the stern but fair Jonathan Starr. As for the Sodor and Mainland engines, they spent their remaining years as privately owned industrial shunters before being retired from service. The following years on Sodor were very exciting as each side received an influx of new engines. Some were of new classes, others of new technologies. What didn't change was the rivalries, but at the end of the day, we were all there to do right by our railway, and our drive to accomplish this was never stronger than it was during the Great Depression. This is where I will begin. My name is Edward, and these are the stories of Sodor. The Great Depression. Very interesting time for Sodor. Like the rest of the world, the island had never known such economic hardship, and like the rest of the world, neither. During this period of intense uncertainty, companies did whatever they could to stay afloat. For railways, this often meant working for day and night. These were hard, demanding times, but we engines of the LNER were more than up to it. There were 6 of us at this time. Gordon, our express engine, our freight hauler, Henry, myself, James, mixed traffic engines both, our yard supervisor, Toby, And of course Thomas, our cheeky little shunter. Between us, there was no train handle, no schedule we couldn't keep. While our efforts were not free of accidents or derailments, we never allowed such setbacks to impede our work, always striving to do right by our passengers and our clients. Indeed, we were a good lot. To date, it began like any other, early, with Mr. Starr showing up to brief us. Good morning, engines. First order of business. In order to help out with the increasing workload, I've arranged works and needs the experience. Thomas, I'll leave him with you. Show him the ropes. Right, sir. What's his name?
Percy.
What sort of a name is that for an engine? Well, I'm glad they didn't call him Gordon. One of you is bad enough.
I resent that.
Settle down. Now, onto the really big news. After a lot of hard bargaining, Cunard gave us a trial performance for one of their cargo ships, the Duchess. Very good. Interesting. For if we do, Cunard may well give us the exclusive delivery contracts for all their ships that come to Sodor. Toby, work your magic and make sure those trucks are in good order. Not a problem, sir. Henry and James, we're most likely looking at a heavy goods train here, so you two will double-head it. Right, sir.
Run to the mines.
Percy should be here by then, so take him with you. Right, sir.
Oh, what a pity I must take the express and I shan't be able to help.
Yes, yes. Don't let it go to your smoke box, Gordon. Just be presentable and on time.
In other words, just myself, sir?
Our main rival on Sodor was the London, Midland and Scottish Railway, or Midis as we called them, based over at Brentham Dock. Like us, they strived to do right by their railway during the Depression. Unlike us, they were not above being devious to get ahead. Now listen to me and listen good. The Nor'easters are about to land the Dutch shipping contract. This is a huge opportunity for them and I'm not happy. Neither away, Mr. Zorro. I'm glad to hear it, Diesel. Now I want that contract and you lot are going to get it for me. But how? I don't expect you to think. I expect you to demonstrate your superiority, to show all others you are the finest engines on Sodor, the fastest, the strongest, the best looking, and dare I say the most devious. Well, I'm certainly right about better looking, and devious is good, right? Of course devious is good. Devious is what's necessary to get ahead in a world blighted by corruption and bad business ethics. Devious is what you're going to use to win the Duchess contract. Don't you worry, sir. We've got this covered. We'll show those goody-goody Nor'easters what's what. Oh, my name's not Diesel. But if it's not Diesel, what is it? Later that day, I was preparing to take a passenger train to Tidmouth, which barred me from helping the others with the goods work. As I was waiting to depart, Thomas came towards the station with a very determined look on his face. Hello there, Thomas. Something on your mind? Yeah, I'm trying to find that new shunter Percy. You haven't seen him, have you? Afraid not, old chap, but then again I haven't been looking. Well, I hope he gets here soon because I'm about to make my fuel run to the mines. I'd hope you looked, Thomas, but you know how Mr. Starr would react if I didn't get these passengers to Tidmouth on time. And that's my cue to leave. Good luck finding Percy, old boy. The way it's going, I think I'll need as much as I can get. Thomas, have you found that shunter yet? No, not yet. Go look up at the station, he might be there. Okay, I'll go look. Oi, look out! Hey, sorry about that, sir. Yeah, that's all right. Just watch it in future, eh? Hey, I wonder if you can help. I'm looking for Thomas. Well, you found him. Oh, I'm Percy, sir. Nice to meet you. I understand this is your first job out of the works. Yes, sir, and I'm eager to get started. Glad to hear it, because we've got a big job to do later on. But first, load of fuel to the coal mines at Marston Heights. What say you come along? It sounds good, sir. No, Percy. You only call Mr. Starr that. It's just Thomas, okay? Yes, sir. I mean, Thomas. Yes, Thomas. Occasionally, engines from the mainland would come to the island, mostly from the Great Western Railway, mostly from a GWR pannier named Montague, better known as Duck. While he did not mind his nickname, this did not prevent the middies from teasing him about it. Well, looky here, Lily. A duck swallowed into the yard. A truly wonderful thing, nature, to be able to create a great green bird like that. And quite clearly it's in the middies' nature to be rude and unfunny. Blow out your smoke box. We don't have time for this. We've got important work to do. Whatever it is, I wager it doesn't involve the Duchess. What do you know about the Duchess? Only that you middies lost out on the delivery contract and that she's almost here. What? But she wasn't due until... Quiet, Lily. Come on.
Are you sure about this? Adam confirmed it with the Coast Guard, sir. Yes, sir. The Duchess is due to arrive at Knapford within the hour. Good. That's very good. Now I want that contract. Do whatever you have to do to get it for me. Yes, sir.
This is Marston Heights coal mine, the largest on Sodor. One of our regular jobs was delivering loads of fuel to the mine for its machinery. Thomas and Percy were just finishing this job when a young woman walked up to them. Hello there, Thomas. Who's your new friend? Sally, this is Percy. Percy, Sally. Her father owns the mine. Hello there, Sally. Nice to meet you. You too, Percy. Thanks for the fuel, boys. Sorry we can't stop, Sally, but we've got to get back to Knapford. Okay, bye, fellas. Well, she seems very nice. Yeah, for the most part, they're a good lot on this island. What do you mean for the most part? I mean, watch out for those middies. You see them? You know they're up to no good. Thomas was right, for at that very moment Diesel was explaining his plan to Adam and Colin.
Alright, now listen up. The train the Norrises are set to pick up from the Duchess will be a heavy goods, which means they'll need Henry. We knuckle him, and we'll get that contract.
Yeah, but he's bigger than us.
He's hauling flatbeds out of the lumberyard, you dummy. You know how dodgy the points are around there.
Yeah, so?
So, you switch us against him and he'll knock himself off the line when he runs over him. Okay? Stupid? That's happened to you a couple of times, Colin, so you should catch on.
Yeah, I'll catch on, Diesel.
You better. Get it done fast and get back here fast. Now get!
Very devious, Diesel. Very devious. Well, if it isn't my favourite Great Western Pannier tank engine. How are you, Duck? Better for having seen you now, James. Oh yeah, what's up? Well, it involves the letters LMS. Ugh, have those miserable minis been giving you trouble again? Indeed, I'll tell you, it's a joke that you have to share this island with them. You'll get no argument from me there. Still, at least today, we'll get to show them up. Yes, I know about the Duchess, and it might interest you to know that she's probably in port already. What? Are you sure? Yes, I had to wait for her to pass on the Vickerstown Bridge on my way here. Bust my buffers! She's early. I've got to tell the others. See you later, Duck. See you later, James. Good luck. Adam and Colin knew exactly where to find Henry. He was at the lumberyard near Carlton where he was picking up a shipment of wood bound for Elsbridge.
Hello there, Henry. Nice day we're having, isn't it? I guess. What are you two doing here? We're just here to pick up a delivery of wood.
You know, just trying to make a living these days. Henry was right to be suspicious of the two middies. What he didn't realise was, however, was that while he was talking to them, Colin's fireman was setting the points against him, which would knock him off the line when he tried to cross over them. As our number 3 set out, he had no idea he was heading straight into a trap.
Thomas, have you seen Henry?
No. Why, is there a problem?
Aye, the Duchess, she came in early and she's unloading her cargo right now.
I haven't seen him since the briefing.
Well, go and look for him and be quick about it. His train will be ready before we know it.
Right away.
James and Percy, I'll need your help marshalling the trucks. Let's get to it.
The Duchess isn't going to like it if we can't get this train out in time. I hope Henry gets here soon, Toby. The way this train's shaping up, I won't be able to pull it on my own.
Aye, I hope he gets here soon too. Come on, Henry, where are you?
Oh no! Henry, are you alright? What happened?
I would say it's these dodgy points, but I'm sure it's no coincidence Adam and Colin were here beforehand.
Yeah, and I'll bet they scarpered right afterwards.
The crooks. My driver's gone for the crane. Unfortunately, one won't be here for an hour.
An hour? Oh, that's just great, because the Duchess arrived early and your train's almost ready to go.
Well, you'll have to take it for me.
Me? How am I going to do that? I'm only a shunter.
I'm sure Toby will have something in mind. Just do what he says and you'll be fine.
I don't know, Henry.
You'll have to, Thomas. It's for the best. Show the Duchess what we Norrises are made of.
Yeah, I'll try. Thomas was quick to return to the harbour and explain Henry's situation. As he predicted, Toby did indeed devise a solution that would get the Duchess's delivery out of the harbour. While Thomas and James would pull from the front, Percy would push from the rear.
Alright lads, you ready?
As ready as we're going to get.
Alright, on my count, push and pull as hard as you can. 1, 2, 3!
With pistons pumping and side rods straining, my fellow Norrises struggled to get the heavy train rolling. With much grit and determination, they succeeded, much to the dismay of the middies. Doesn't sound like your plan worked, Diesel.
If I could only get rid of that shunter, Percy.
Thinking devious, eh, Diesel?
No, just thinking contract. Look how slow they're going. This gives me an idea.
My fellow Nor'easters had started off well. Despite the intense weight of the train, between them they should have been able to deliver it to its destination at Wellsworth. I say should have, because unbeknownst to my colleagues, Diesel was preparing to carry out his plan, returning with a truck that he was not coupled to. He waited for the right moment to strike, which came as the Nor'easters passed onto the upline.
This is where we win the contract.
Diesel surged forward with the uncoupled truck. Thinking that nobody was looking, he braked suddenly, causing the truck to race down the line and collide with Percy's bunker. Ooh! The little shunter jumped at this collision and instinctively braked, causing the entire train to jerk. Hey, what's going on back there? There was a loud crack as a coupling gave way and the train came to a halt. Oh, so that's devious.
Yeah, well done, Diesel.
Nicely
Yeah,
done.
good job, Diesel.
Better luck next time, Nor'easters.
Together with the guard, the engine crews inspected the damage and their findings were very grim. How's it look, Gavin? Oh, it's bad. The couplings on both trucks have been damaged and they'll need to be switched out. And not just the trucks, but also their cargo. This is just the sort of delay we didn't need. Percy overheard James's outburst. Knowing that such a changeover would take hours, he blamed himself for it as he pulled his half of the train back towards the platform. By the time the trucks were changed over, along with their cargo, it was very late indeed. To a representative from Cunard, Mr. Starr had to explain why the Duchess's delivery was so far behind schedule. It was then that Diesel made his timely arrival to offer up the services of the LMS. Despite Mr. Starr's best efforts, he was unable to dissuade the representative from taking Diesel up on his offer. Before long, Diesel, together with Douglas and Adam, were coupled up and ready to depart, the representative thanking them for their professionalism.
Glad to be of service.
Anyone who thinks that big black weasel has something to do with this, raise your buffer.
Aye, the Midis stood to benefit most from this, but we'll never be able to prove it. Well, there's nothing for it. Come on, lads, let's go back to the sheds.
The feelings of the downcast quartet were intensely felt that night in the shed. Knowing we had lost out on such a major contract made for poor sleeping indeed. I can't imagine how Percy must have felt as he continued to blame himself.
Well, I congratulate you two. Thank you, sir. You're a good man, Diesel, with the right attitude. Oh, just one thing, nobody saw you, did they? Not even, what's his name? Oh, Percy? No, sir, nobody saw us. Good, that's very good. I'll offer our services to Cunard tomorrow. With the revenue we'll reap from such a contract, we'll be able to push the Nor'easters off the island. Poor little Percy, it just wasn't his day. No, it wasn't.
The following day came and Percy woke up just as miserable as he'd been when he fell asleep. It took a bit to get him out of the shed, and when he did, Toby began instructing him in his new duties. All the while, the little shunter dwelt on his apparent mistake. Oh! Be careful, you clumsy green caterpillar! These are express coaches, not cattle trucks! Sorry, Gordon. Phew, now I can see why yesterday's foul-up happened. Come on, Gordon, that's hardly fair. Neither is our losing out on a very profitable contract because of some little tank engine's incompetence. Look, I would stake my weight in coal that Diesel had something to do with that. Well, prove it, and we'll get out of this. Prove it? Right. How am I going to do that? Hello there, Thomas. You're looking very pensive. Yeah, just trying to think of ways I can help Percy. Who's Percy? He's our new shunter, and he's not doing too well. Why ever not? He had a little accident yesterday that, long story short, cost us the Duchess delivery job to the Midis. Well, if by accident you mean Diesel throwing a truck up the back of Percy's bunker, why, you saw him do it? I did, as did several of my passengers. I would have spoken up sooner, but I've been running trains non-stop. This is brilliant! Percy will be so relieved. I've got to tell the others. Thomas? I need to go that... Sorry, Doc, no time to talk. I swear, they must be a little batty on this island. Blimey, what's happened here? Some fool didn't secure the trucks at the top of the ramp and they came rolling down straight into Percy. These trucks are scrap and so am I. Just cut me off with the rest of them. Not today, Percy. I just spoke to Duck who saw Diesel throw that truck up the back of you. You mean it wasn't my fault? Not at all. You think Mr. Starr will keep me on? Oh, when he hears about this and how hard you've been working, he'll be begging you to stay. With a renewed sense of pride and self-confidence, Percy was loaded back onto the rails and taken to the works.
So it turns out you were seen. Impossible. On my show. Don't argue with me. You were seen. Now you not know what you did, which means we don't get the contract and we don't get paid for running last night's train. What's worse, for damaging linear property, we've been slapped with a huge fine. What kind of idiots do I have working for me? Real devious ones? Shut up, Colin. Sorry, sir. Yeah, sorry, sir. Sorry, Mr. Zorro. Sorry. Idiots, I don't want to hear sorry. Get out of my sight, all of you. A few days ago, Percy was taken to the works to be mended, and I'm pleased to say there was minimal damage and he has been repaired.
That's good.
And as for all of you, I hope you realise the folly about jumping to conclusions, about passing judgment without having all the facts. As tempting as it is to apportion blame in a time of crises, doing so serves no purpose. Now, without further ado, if you look to your front, I would like to introduce our new number 6.
Jolly good. There he is.
All right.
Percy, welcome to the LAER. We are proud to have you. Thank you very much. I'm proud to be here.
Yes, and it seems we were wrong about blaming you.
Remember, this is the day, lads, that Gordon actually gave an apology. Percy, like Mr. Starr said, welcome to the Nor'easters.
A round of hearty whistling followed this proclamation, as did many, many years of friendship.
I've always found choice to be a rather strange concept, perhaps because I don't fully understand it. Whereas humans seem to be able to pick the course they will take through life, for us engines it's a little different. Every locomotive that has ever been built has been done so to fulfill a specific purpose, like pulling express trains, goods trains, or both. I wouldn't call this a bad thing, as such purpose gives us the drive to excel in our designated roles. That's not to say we are built with the expertise though. Indeed, we each had to learn how to handle our specific roles through experience and training. Even I had to be shown how to handle trucks when I first came to Sodor, for I had spent much of my career up till that point as a passenger engine. Thomas and Toby showed me the do's and don'ts of such work, sometimes through strenuous means, but it was because of them that I became quite the accomplished mixed traffic engine. Thus, when Percy joined our little crew, it was only natural our new recruit fell under Thomas and Toby's tutelage. Thanks to them, our number 6 became an accomplished shunter, expertly handling coaches and arranging trucks. He even took the occasional train himself when there was no one else available. He proved to be really useful, so much so that Mr. Starr decided Thomas should show him our operations on the Farquhar branch. Our number 1 was happy to do so, and began by giving Percy a tour of the picturesque line. Okay, Percy, here we go. First up, we got the Elm River. The locals will often fish underneath the bridge. My driver's always saying one of these days he'll dip his line into the waters from my cab. Next up, we got the watermill. If you're into anything green, you'll love this line. I am green, Thomas. Oh, right. This here is Dryer, and that there is the airfield. And here we have the old mill. What does it do? I don't know. I think it's just there for show. That there is Maithwaite. In the spring they deck the whole station out with flowers. Here we have the Toy Rex sawmill. The station itself isn't far off. And there it is. When you get to this junction, always take the right track. Why? What's down the other line? The mines. Careful if you ever go down that way. The ground's not too stable. This stretch of track will take you past Hackenbeck, which is right there. Just up the way there's a small paddock where you'll find Terence the tractor. Hi Terence. Hi Thomas. That's a quaint little cottage. That's where Mrs. Kindly lives. She lives at her name, I'll tell you. You'll meet her soon enough. And here we have Farquhar itself. So, Percy, now that you've seen the branch, what do you think? Oh, it's beautiful, Thomas. I will never get tired of working this line. Well, that's good, because we'll have plenty to do today. Yes, Mr. Starr mentioned something about a quarry. The Enofa quarry. That's it. It's along this track here, up in the hills. Well, show me, Thomas. I want to see every part of this branch line. All right, don't burst a piston. Let's go. The Enofa quarry had always been the economic backbone of the Farquhar branch due to the high quality of the stone mined from there. Even during the Depression, business remained steady with the quarry able to purchase its own engine, Clive, formerly of the Sodor and Mainland Railway. As I said on a previous occasion, after the Sodor and Mainland Railway declared bankruptcy in 1914, its three engines, Clive, Neil and Matthew, were all privately bought to service the various industries around the island. Neil worked the China clay pits near Brendam, Matthew serviced the lumber yard near Carlin, and Clive shunted trucks about Enofa. The quarry had always been good for us nor'easters as we maintained an exclusive contract with the business that included delivering stone away from the quarry and taking supplies to it. On this day, Mr. Starr had been informed by the quarry manager that a big shipment of stone needed to go out and tasked Thomas and Percy with handling it. Good morning, Clive. Ah, Thomas, you young whippersnapper. There you are. I thought I'd have to take these trucks on an effort myself. I was just giving a new shunter a tour of the line. Percy, this is Clive. Clive, Percy. Hello there, Clive. My, the engines keep getting younger, or I'm just getting older. You're just getting older. I can still match the best you have to offer, Thomas. Yes, you can. Alright, enough chit-chatting, time to get to work. I'm sure you noticed all those trucks in the sidings on your way in. That lot, and more, has to be delivered to Knapford by day's end. By day's end? Is that possible? Of course it is, Percy. We're the nor'easters. We can do anything. The way I figure it, I'll organise the trucks while you two take it in turns delivering them to Elsbridge. I'm guessing Henry will be there to take them on to Knapford after that? Yep, he's just got to do a delivery first and then he'll be right there. The brake van's in their usual spot? Yep, over by the machinist shed. Okay, Percy, you want to start hooking those vans up? No problem. Alright, let's get to it. The three engines soon got stuck into their work, organising the trucks before taking them down the branch 8 at a time as per safety regulations. For many hours they followed the routine of delivering them to Elsbridge before returning with their brake vans to do it all over again. By midday, 2 very long lines of stone-filled trucks had been marshalled in Elsbridge Yard, with Henry showing up in time to take them on to Knapford. The trio pushed themselves hard, working through their fatigue to chip away at the massive order, until finally only one delivery remained. Whew, after today I'll sleep for a week. A quick question, couldn't we have saved a lot of time and effort if Henry had come up here to take the trucks directly to Knapford? Yes, we could have. The problem is the bridges and track along the branch aren't designed to take the weight of larger engines like Henry and Gordon. Edward's been up this way, hasn't he? He'd be the absolute largest engine that could. James also. Crikey, Thomas, didn't you teach this whippersnapper anything? Only the essentials, like cracking off wires to old fusspots. Don't let this one corrupt you, Percy. You did very well today. Thank you. Yeah, you did good. In fact, I'll take the last lot of trucks onto Elsbridge. Are you sure? It's my turn. No, it's fine. You rest up here a bit, then head on back to Knapford. I'll see you there. Okay, thanks, Thomas. See you, Thomas. Later, Clive. I'm sorry to say that this delivery would not match the previous ones in that it would not be peaceful. As Thomas coupled up and departed, he had no idea what lay near the bottom of the hill. The line leading up to the Enofa quarry is a winding piece of track that crosses over the road and river several times. Some of its bends are also rather tight, which is another reason why larger engines could not make the climb and why smaller ones like Thomas can. Whenever taking loads down from the quarry, all engines know to take the descent slow to prevent a runaway. At one point, the line passes over an unmarked level crossing. While Thomas was making his way towards this crossing, he noticed a policeman was nearby. Afternoon, Constable. Oi, hold up there! Is something wrong, sir? Why, out there is. Where are your cowcatchers? My what, sir? Are you deaf? I said, where are your cowcatchers? I don't have any. I'm a tank engine, not a tram. Don't give me lip, boy. I'm sorry, Constable. What seems to be the problem? The problem is, it is the law that any engines travelling along an unfenced line must be equipped with cowcatchers and side plates to prevent serious injury to animals and people that may stray onto the line. What? Since when? Since the law was passed 2 years ago. Have you been travelling down this line in that time? Well, yes, but I didn't know. Ignorance is no excuse. Your regular law-breaking makes it worse. Come on, mate, we haven't had a single accident in that time. Blind luck is no justification. The law is the law. I'll be handing you a ticket. Good day. Thomas departed with a sullen look on his face. Despite not knowing the law, he was downcast that he had broken it. Furthermore, he was also worried about what Mr. Starr would have to say about this. At that same moment, I was rushing towards Knapford with a passenger train. I had to hurry for I had been delayed, and unfortunately, I arrived a few minutes late. I knew Mr. Starr wouldn't be happy, unlike James, who was just waiting to rip into me. Alright, James, you clearly have something to say, so let's get it over with. Come now, Edward, what do you take me for? I would never revel in your tardiness, nor would I mention how finally, after giving the rest of us so many lectures about being on time, you have finally fallen behind yourself. The situation was beyond my control. Unlike the first time you were late. What was the reason again? Oh, that's right. You had fallen asleep. Hey, I'd had a busy day. I was exhausted. If you can't take abuse, James, don't give it out. Good advice, Edward. But this petty argument of yours does not belong in the station. You're professionals, so try and act like it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Edward, do you have a reason for being 8 minutes late? Our lorry had broken down the level crossing near Marston Heights, sir. I see. Just like that, Mr. Starr let the matter drop. Though strict, he was a reasonable man. However, I suspect he might have said more had the station master not rushed up to him in a panic. Sir! Sir! Take a breath, Willie. What's wrong? I just got a call from Elsbridge. The police want a word with you about Thomas. The station master outlined our number one situation, including the part about breaking some law we had never heard of before. That's ridiculous! It still needs attention, James. Edward, I need you to take me to Elsbridge right away. Yes, sir. Our director jumped into my cab and I was away, speeding down the line to help my friend. As I rattled along the line, I couldn't help but ponder the identity of the constable who had issued the ticket. Indeed, I had heard about a very strict officer who had just joined the Farquhar police and wondered if it was the same man. As I neared Elsbridge, Henry emerged from the yard with the final delivery of stone in tow, which included Thomas's trucks. I'm sure my expression matched his. A lot of nonsense, Edward. Pulling up to the platform, I spotted the constable who issued the ticket. Sure enough, he was the same lawman I had heard of. He was in the company of a well-dressed man I recognized as Detective Sergeant Dennis Copeland, who just so happened to be a personal friend to Mr. Starr. You all right, Thomas? I've been better, Edward. Don't worry, old boy. Mr. Starr will sort this out. What? He's here? Yes, Thomas, I am. Together with Sergeant Copeland and the constable, who I believe was named Bentley, the three men gathered at the end of the platform to discuss the situation. For what felt like hours, the trio talked until finally Sergeant Copeland tore up the ticket on the grounds of this being a first offence. Bentley was none too happy, but we couldn't have cared less about that. I say, well done, sir. Yes, thank you, sir. And, sorry for causing trouble. It was no trouble, Thomas. Indeed, I am partly to blame. As director, it is my responsibility to ensure my people know the law. Clearly, I have been lax in this duty, and I will make it right. True to his word, our director did. His response was twofold. First, he had a fence built along the track leading up to Enofa, thus making it legal for any engine to venture to and from the quarry. Second, Mr. Starr had our Chief Barrister, Montgomery Ward, brief us on the various rail-related laws and statutes. This proved to be very dull and tedious, partly because Mr. Ward had all the charisma of a wet carrot, and partly because most of this legality involved using common sense, like ensuring the proper storage of dangerous loads. The seminars did inform us of previously unknown rules, however. For one, during night runs, we had to blow our whistles when passing signal boxes to alert the signalmen within. Soon enough, all the legal requirements of our jobs became second nature and we carried out our work without a problem. Unfortunately, for the longest time afterwards, Thomas got no peace from the Midis. Make sure you shun those trucks just right, Thomas. Don't want to get pinched again. Get lost, Diesel. So then I said, make sure to shunt those trucks just right, Thomas. You don't want to get pinched again. Very good, Diesel. Aye, a good telling off. Just what they need. Yes, nicely done, Diesel. I wish I had your wit. Well, the nor'easters provide their own material, don't they? It's times like these I'm glad I'm on the right side. Good afternoon, engines. Afternoon, Mr. Zorro. Hello, Mr. Zorro. Who's this gentleman? This here is Tobias Hunt, a barrister. Head office has seen fit to send Mr. Hunt here so he may educate us on the legal points of our operations here on Sodor. Is this because of the noises, sir? Why should we be made to suffer? We are made to suffer, Diesel, because of the Duchess incident. Or have you forgotten it was your actions that got us fined? No, sir. Good. Now give Mr. Hunt your undivided attention.
Thank you, Mr. Zorro. The first point I'd like to go over is the regulation regarding hazardous loads, which states in Articles 1 to 4 that such
I think this might be
loads
interesting.
must be-
Do you know what a simpleton is, Colin? No. What is it? If you ever get that chance, look in a mirror and you'll find out. Okay. Hillsborough, which had always been a popular holiday proximity to the sea. It is a main line terminator connecting with the narrow gauge Mid-Sodor Railway. At this time, 5 engines called the line home: Duke, Stuart, Falcon, Andreas, and Atlas. A point worth mentioning, I suppose, is that when the Railway Act was passed, its unification statutes only applied to standard gauge railways. Thus, narrow gauge lines like the Mid-Sodor and Skarloey railways remained privatised. The Mid-Sodor Railway winds through rugged hillsides and sweeping farmlands. Every year during harvest time, the farmers rely on the MSR to transport their produce to the transfer yards for delivery elsewhere across the island, and every year, Mr. Star and Mr. Zorro engage in a bidding war for the delivery contract. This year, we Nor'easters got the contract. I was tasked with taking the first shipment, which Duke had brought down from the hills. While I waited for the workmen to transfer the goods aboard my train, I chatted at length with the MSR's number 1, whom the younger engines teasingly called Grandpuff. My driver's been raving about this Amelia Earhart character for nearly a week now. Mine too. Can't say I blame him. The first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean? That takes guts and is worthy of respect in my eyes. I wonder what it would be like to fly. I suppose it'd be like rail travel, with its ups and downs. No pun intended. But then, not everything is rosy for aviators. Let's not forget Charles Lindbergh. Oh, I know. How awful was that? Like having your infant son kidnapped wasn't enough of an ordeal, but to find his body? Who would be cowardly enough to do that to a child? You said it yourself, Edward. Cowards. Okay, Edward, we're all done. Well, that's your load, Duke. I still need Stuart's. He's late. He's supposed to be bringing fresh produce down from the McKinley's farm. Well, I can't afford to wait. I have to leave right now, and I'll make sure to have a few words with the impertinent scallywag when he arrives. Try not to be too hard on him, Duke, old boy. No promises, Edward. What I didn't realise at the time was, as I pulled out of the yard, Stuart was thundering towards it. I was later told that he whistled, but I never heard it. By the time the MSR's number 3 arrived, I was long gone. What time do you call this, youngster? I know, Grandpuff, I know. I'm late. What's your excuse? No excuse. I simply dawdled. How refreshing. I'll have a word with the manager and hopefully he can arrange something with Mr. Starr. My destination was Knapford Harbour, where a ship from Cunard Liners was waiting to take the goods aboard my train to the mainland. My trip was mostly uneventful. I say mostly because ugly black clouds had been gathering in the sky overhead all morning. I had just passed through Tidmouth when the rain came bucketing down, ceaselessly hammering my boiler. When I reached Knapford, I was surprised to find Mr. Starr was waiting for me. I had barely stopped when he told me he had just gotten a call from Joseph Brandt, the manager of the Mid-Sodor Railway, telling him that Stuart had arrived shortly after I left. He must have been right there. I'm sorry, sir. That doesn't matter, Edward. I need you to head back to Aylesbury and pick up his load right away. I can't do that, sir. I have to take a colliery train in the next 10 minutes. Oh, that's right. Bother! Is something the matter, sir? This ship isn't meant to be leaving until tomorrow. That was the original idea, Edward, but the captain wants to leave before this storm gets any worse. Wouldn't it be safer to wait until after it passes? You would think so, but you know what Cunard Liners are like. Point taken, sir. When does the captain want to leave? Within the hour, and there's no one else. Percy! Percy! I need you to rush to Aylesbury and pick up a produce train right away. Me, sir? There's no one else here. Are you up for it or not? Yes, sir. I am. Very good. Pick it up as quickly as you can, but be safe about it. In this weather, accidents are just waiting to happen. Good luck. Something wrong, Percy? Oh, no, it's just... I haven't taken a train in weather like this before. If Mr. Starr didn't believe you were up to it, he wouldn't have asked. You think so? I know so. Now, get to it. Right! I watched as our number 6 scurried away, emboldened by the fact our director trusted him with this important task. The little shunter soon left the yard and headed towards Aylesbury, the wind and rain hammering all around. He maintained a steady but safe pace, cautiously travelling along the wet tracks, and took note of the rising waters of the canal near Marston Heights. I'm sorry to say, however, that Percy's exploits would not be without incident. He had no way of knowing that in the time since I had arrived at Knapford, Adam had done likewise at Alsborough, the Midis number 3 sweet-talk steward into letting him take the goods aboard his train to Knapford, which he legally couldn't do, not without permission from Mr. Starr. But Stewart didn't know that. Percy was unaware of Adam's duplicity until their paths crossed at Tidmouth.
Heading to Alsborough, Percy. You wasted a trip. I got you covered.
You've got me. Hey, that's my train. Give it back.
Finders keepers.
That slimy thief.
What was that, Percy?
Oh, hello, Constable Simpson. That miserable middy has taken my train.
Has he stolen it?
Yes, in violation of Article 219 of the Fair Transport Act.
Well, I'll put a stop to that.
Don't you worry. The constable of the Tidmouth Police quickly rushed to the station master's office, using his telephone to contact Marston Heights with orders to wave down Adam before he passed. The station master complied, and Adam was forced to stop, utterly fuming, no doubt.
Hey, what's all this then? Is the line flooded? No, Adam, we've received word that this train is legally the property of the LNER, which you have stolen from them. Stolen? Rubbish! I was just doing them a favour. Well, we'll have to wait until the police sort this out.
Adam was forced to return to Tidmouth, where his crew had a little chat with the police. In short, it was determined that the Midis number 3 had broken the law by taking Percy's train without permission. Adam was shunted into the nearby shed, and Percy took the train on to Knapford. He hurried along the line as fast as safety permitted. He ultimately hadn't needed to, as the captain decided the storm had grown too fierce to risk leaving port. Therefore, the ship did not depart until the next day, with its entire cargo on board. The Midis suffered severe consequences for Adam's theft, as the entire Sodor branch was placed on probation and risked closure if they did not behave. And to be fair, they did. Even afterwards, they acted better towards us nor'easters. Well, better in that they never again actively tried to sabotage our operations. This turnaround wouldn't have happened if not for Percy and his uncanny grasp of the law. We were all very proud of how he had stopped Adam, especially Mr. Starr, who was glad at least one of us took something away from Mr. Ward's seminars. You're probably wondering at this point what became of Constable Bentley. To again be fair, we couldn't fault him for issuing the fine, but his behaviour towards us left a lot to be desired. He was always lurking about the stations and bridges, like he was waiting for an opportunity to hit us with some kind of infraction. We never gave him the satisfaction, and he ultimately had to resign a few months later after a scandal involving himself and the mayor's wife. With him gone, life improved dramatically for us on the Farquhar branch, whose line we continue to service diligently to this day. Every business and industry has its risks. My driver told me that once just after we had seen Diesel's accident outside Wellsworth, where the black-painted middy was grumbling terribly at his predicament, but the only one really listening to his gripes was the same one who was engineering the cleanup operation, Mickey. Mickey was the chief of the Fire and Rescue Service, an organisation charged with maintaining safe travelling conditions on Sodor. This meant responding to accidents and breakdowns and taking an engine to the works if necessary. In the event of a trackside fire, Mickey and his water trucks were always at the ready. Mickey was widely respected by both Midis and nor'easters as he belonged to neither. He was independent, charged with helping any engine who needed it regardless of livery. There were times he could be a little gruff, however, giving ponderous lectures to those of us who had mishaps, but none of us could really fault him in this regard given the weight of his responsibilities, his unwavering professionalism, and the fact we had all taken his help at some time or another. It must have been the summer of about 1935 when Thomas was coming down the Farquhar branch with Annie and Clarabelle. He was just passing the old mill when he spotted smoke in the distance and assumed the worst. Oh no! The little blue tank engine pounded along the rails towards the source, finding Mickey and a squad of firefighters already there. Alright, good work there, lads. Ah, Thomas, just in time to witness another successful drill. A drill? Oh, that's a relief. I thought it was the real thing. Ha! Even if it was, this motley crew would have it extinguished in no time. Isn't that right, lads? Yes, sir! So, what brings you out this way, Thomas? Sounds like Annie and Clarabelle are mighty full. Oh, we are, Chief, aren't we, Annie? Indeed, Clarabelle, fit to burst. The way you two carry on sometimes, it's like you weren't built for carrying passengers. You can be so cruel sometimes, Thomas. Yes, they are full. I'm taking a load of workers to the new harbour being built near Elsbridge. Oh, how's that going? Splendid, since we don't have to work with the Midis. You companies and your rivalries. Well, I better get going. Nice work, Chief. Later, Thomas. The construction of Elsbridge Harbour was part of the Sodor construction scheme, a government initiative aimed at creating jobs for the depression-racked island, and it did, making it very popular, especially by we nor'easters who were given the building contract. I must say it didn't take long for this place to take shape. That it didn't, dear Percy. It always amazes me how quickly they build things these days. You're certainly right about that. I remember how it took us 2 years to lay the track work as part of the expansion to Tidmouth. At the time, we thought that was fast. When do you think it'll be open for business? Soon. They need to do some serious dredging before deep draught ships can approach. They'll be starting on that as soon as Thomas arrives with the next load of workers. Speak the devil's name and he appears. Ah, Thomas, there you are. So good of you to come. Yeah, sorry I'm a little late. Got held up with Mickey in the fire drill he was conducting. Ah, that Mickey. Where would we be without him? I know where I'd be, still at the centre of my accident at Knapford. Leave Annie and Clarabel there, would you, Thomas? There's a line of trucks next to the station. Bring them over here, will you, old boy? Hey, wasn't James meant to be making delivery today? Yes, and he was supposed to be here an hour ago. I don't know what's keeping him. Perhaps he wouldn't leave the shed without his 6th coat of polish. 6? I would have thought 7. But as it turns out, it wasn't James's vanity causing delays, but rather the turntable he needed to use to get out of the yard at Carlton. It had jammed while it was being aligned to his track. While the workmen struggled to repair it, my mixed traffic partner was forced to wait, which he did not appreciate. Oh, for crying out loud! Take it easy there, James. How can I possibly take it easy when I'm running an hour late? Mr. Starr's going to have a fit. He can't possibly blame you for a faulty turntable. Don't be so sure. It wasn't long before the turntable was finally fixed and our number 5 hastened onto it, but luck continued to work against him as Douglas was nearby shunting some trucks, blocking the track he needed to use to access his train. Oh, you've got to be kidding! Hey, Middy, hurry it up! Don't go getting snippy with me, laddie. I've got my own work to handle. Well, do it quickly. I'm already late. That's not my problem. Not yet, it isn't. What? Is that a threat? You smarmy little... It was then that it happened. Douglas's trucks became derailed, blocking the line. Oh, that's gone and done it. You idiot. I'd almost think you did that on purpose. Oh, yes, that's exactly what I did. I jeopardized my record just to inconvenience you. You hear that, lads? Dougie's a saboteur. Shut it, you lot. I'm in no mood for your lip. Good thing I still have pleasure to give. Now, why doesn't that surprise me? Fortunately for James, Douglas's mishap didn't block the siding he needed to use to access his train. As he backed down slowly onto the trucks, he gave his rival a mischievous grin, for a very unfortunate thought crossed his mind. What are you smirking at? Oh, nothing. I just realised there's a silver lining to all this. Oh, aye? And what'd that be? That you have to explain to Mickey. Have fun! After savouring the misfortune of the Midis number 10 an extra moment, James quickly sped out of the yard with his train as he was reminded just how far behind schedule he was. For obvious safety reasons, the speed of a goods train is usually capped, but I'm sorry to say that on this day, James was oblivious to this as he thundered down the line, ripping over the river, past the sheds and through the station. Slow it down, James, we already have an express engine. But James was in too much of a rush to notice, much less care about what Toby had said. If he had paid any heed, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Maybe the axle box on one of his trucks wouldn't have begun to spark madly. In the darkness of the tunnel, the guard noticed this and threw on the brakes. Oh, what now? After inspecting the truck, the guard reported his findings to James's driver. In his opinion, it was still safe to travel, but they would have to move very slowly or risk damaging the truck. To hear that he would have to go slower, further putting himself behind schedule, was very unwelcome news for my mixed traffic partner. There's nothing for it, James. Either we move slowly or we don't move at all. Pursuing the former option, James set off again, completely unaware that one of the sparks to fly from his truck had let in some dry brush on the other end of the tunnel and was already starting to smoke. We did what we could at the harbour before Thomas and Percy had to tend to some shunting at Lower Knapford. After completing their work, their crews had lunch, during which time the two engines chatted. The topic of their conversation was a certain politician who had come to power in Germany the year before. What do you make of this Hitler bloke? He certainly has the loyalty of the German people behind him, but then again so did the Kaiser. My driver mentioned he's looking to undo the Treaty of Versailles. To be honest, I don't blame him. I really didn't think it was fair the way Germany copped it for the whole thing. I was built long after the Great War. Was it really as terrible as they say? Worse, Percy. I'm hoping that bloodbath really was the war to end all wars. Not to change the topic so suddenly, Thomas, but look over there. Look how slow James is going. Oh, this is so easy. Hey, James, is this why you're so late? Are you trying to bring new meaning to the term slow goods? I swear, if you two start, I'm going to bump you both off the rails. All right, no need to bite our heads off. Feels like fireboxes, James. I was only stirring. I'm sorry. It's just been a rough day. How so? But before James could answer, the wail of a siren cut in. The piercing cry made the three nor'easters jump as they looked ahead to see Mickey thundering their way with a string of water trucks behind him. As fast as he could, the chief galloped through the station and disappeared. What do you think that's about? If it involves Mickey and water trucks, nothing good. And it certainly wasn't, for the smouldering shrub caused by James's spark had begun to spread rapidly, fueled by the abundance of dry brush and the searing summer heat. By great chance, Lily was nearby with a works train and was able to raise the alarm, which Mickey quickly responded to. Thank goodness you're here, Chief. That fire's quickly spreading. Damaged power pole, I see. Has Sodor Electrical been notified? Yes, sir, and they've shut off the power. All right, lads, go to work. Like they had practiced 100 times before, the firemen disassembled from the works coach at the rear and grabbed the hoses bolted to the spools on the underside of the water trucks. With the kind of brave daring that can only come from battling fire, the men set to work extinguishing it. After a few moments of intense hosing, the flames were doused, leaving behind only scorched earth and a broken power pole. Alright, good work there, lads. This is what we practiced for. Now to find out how this happened. I might be able to help with that. The speaker turned out to be the signalman from the nearby junction. He told the chief how James had ripped by his signal box earlier, and that he had surely been exceeding the speed limit, which was bound to be a contributing factor. Is that right? Well, I'll be having a word with James and Mr. Starr. I wouldn't want to be James right about now. Mickey was quick to catch up to James at Elsbridge, and after a brief word with his guard, the cause of the fire became apparent. Well, what have you got to say for yourself?
Chief, I'm sorry, but I was running late and...
Running late? James, a schedule is never an excuse to compromise safety.
Mr. Starr really doesn't like it when we're late.
He likes it even less when his engines start fires.
Mr. Starr,
I heard what happened, James, and I must say I'm very disappointed in you.
Sir, with all due respect, you've made it abundantly clear how important it is we keep to our schedules.
Yes, but that doesn't mean I'm unreasonable. I heard what happened at Carlton with the turntable and Douglas. In light of those setbacks, it was a miracle you got out of the yard at all. I do expect my engines to be on time, but not at the expense of safety or common sense.
I'm sorry, sir.
Mr. Starr, James's actions have caused considerable damage. At least half of Lower Napa will be without power until we can repair it. I've already spoken with Sodor Electrical, Chief. We'll be covering the cost of the repairs. Unfortunately, that means the rest of you will have to take on extra work, as the government has been a little lax in paying us for the harbour job. Oh, not again. Last time we had a client like this, me and Percy were pulling triple shifts at the mines. Are we going to have to do that again, sir? No, Percy. You and Thomas will handle general goods. James will look after the mine.
But, sir...
What?
Nothing.
Good, because I hear the Mid-Sodor Railway is in need of a new generator. If this happens again, I might just offer your services. In light of this threat, an awkward silence fell over the yard, broken by the muffled laughter of a certain nearby middy. Oh, this is just too good. The following week was grueling for us nor'easters. James was stuck at the mines with only the teasing trucks for company, while the rest of us had to take on extra jobs in addition to our own work to pay for the repairs. What made it worse was the Midis seized every opportunity to take potshots at us. You look quite smashing for those trucks, Gordon. Oh, be quiet! Something wrong, Gordon? There's plenty wrong with this, Percy. Forcing an express engine to haul trucks. What an indignity! What a blemish on the LNER! Oh, you poor engine. Spare me the impudence, Percy. You're not the only one to suffer, you know. Me and Thomas have shunted just about every truck on the island. Thomas and I. Oh, whatever. Where is your partner in cheek, anyway? I think he's at Wellsworth. And our intrepid shunter was. He was arranging a goods train in the yard, which had been upgraded as part of the Sodor construction scheme, a contract that had unfortunately been handled by the Midis. Alright, now just one more... there we are. Phew. Finally, now I can catch my breath. Hello, Thomas. Oh, bother. I don't think he's happy to see us, Diesel. I think you're right, Colin. Look, I've had a hard week. Last thing I need is for you two to give me grief. All I said was hello. No need to get all fired up. I don't get it. Oh, shut up. So what do you think of the yard, Thomas? A thing of beauty, ain't it? All made possible by the superiority of the LMS. Your mum did this? Oh, that explains why half the points don't work. Oh, yeah? Well, let's go. All right, Diesel. I'll... achoo! Excuse me.
Look, I've told you need your smoke box cleaned out. Yes, sir, I think I will when we get back to Brendam. Try not to think too hard, Colin, you might hurt yourself. Yeah, you don't worry about us. Just try and focus on not burning down the yard. I wouldn't waste the effort of... Wait, stop! Oh yeah, why should we? Because your trucks are on fire. What?
Once more an errant spark was to blame as the embers from Colin's sneeze landed in the truck directly behind him and was quick to ignite.
Oh, brilliant. Don't worry, Diesel, I'll handle this. Colin, don't!
Too late, the Midi tank engine surged back to collide with the truck, forcing some of the coal to spill out and for the fire to spread.
Whoops. Nice work, dummy. Now we'll probably lose the shed and the train. It's worse than that. There are 2 tire wagons back there. If they go up, the whole yard might go with it. What do we do? I know what I'm doing.
The 3 engines were quick to flee to the far end of the yard as the fire slowly crept into the shed, edging ever closer to the tar wagons. Once they were at a safe distance, Diesel's driver rushed to the station to telephone Mickey. During the anxious wait, the yard's workmen assembled, but after doing a head count, the foreman discovered a problem.
Wait, where's Cooper? He was by the water tower last I saw. Bother! We have to go look for him. He might be hurt. Are you nuts? It's too dangerous. Fine, I'll go look for him. You stay here. Fine, but if you get blown to bits, don't expect me to cry for you. Blimey, would you look at that? Help! Help! There he is!
Stopping just short of the injured workman who had twisted his ankle from falling, Thomas's driver and fireman scrambled out of his cab to grab him before throwing him back aboard their engine.
Right, let's go!
But Thomas's wheels barely turned when disaster struck.
Ow! Oh, come on, really? A broken piston now? Gavin? Pete? If you tell us to leave here, Thomas, I'm going to thump you with me shovel. Look, I can't move, and leave that to me. Colin, what are you doing here? Getting you out of here. Right, let's go. I must be the only sensible engine on this island. Come on, you two, get out of the way. Careful, Chief, there are tire wagons back there. Right, thanks, Thomas. Okay, lads, just like before. Get it done!
With the same proficiency as before, Mickey and his crew quickly extinguished the flames.
Phew, that was close. Of course it could have been avoided altogether if not for the actions of a certain dim-witted tank engine.
Never mind, Colin. We all make mistakes. Thanks for helping me.
You're welcome.
After he was finished at Wellsworth, Mickey delivered Thomas to the works at Crovan's Gate. In the nearby transfer yard, Percy, Scarlowy and I had been working and were expectantly anxious at the sight of our number 1 being shunted. I say, Thomas, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just a broken piston. How did that happen?
There was a fire at Wellsworth and Thomas came to the rescue of an injured workman.
I say, well done, old boy. Thanks, Edward.
Yes, good job, Thomas.
Thanks, Chief.
Now, don't do it again.
I'm sorry?
What you did today was very brave, Thomas, but also very foolish. You could have been seriously hurt. I survived, only because Colin came to your rescue. If he hadn't, or if I'd been a minute late, you might not be here. Like I said, bravely done, but heroics don't impress anyone. People get hurt that way. Your broken piston is proof of that. We all fell silent as we mulled over the chief's words. In truth, he had a point. Nonetheless, I gave Thomas a congratulatory smile, which I think he appreciated. It took several days for the repairs to be completed at Wellsworth as the old track was replaced and the damaged rolling stock was scrapped. I'm told Mr. Zorro gave Colin and Diesel a vicious scolding, holding them both responsible for the blaze and the damage incurred, which the Midis had to pay for. Not long afterwards, Mickey gave both sides a long, dull lecture on fire safety. But something he said that day must have stuck, as it was many years before the island experienced another serious fire incident. Something very unexpected came out of this ordeal. Thomas and Colin became friends and managed to work together amiably on several occasions. Their example did inspire greater cooperation between Midis and Nor'easters, but not entirely so.